Pagdating sa e-commerce, the only losers are those who quit. And the next point I want to bring is that growth is usually not linear. Karamihan ng sellers pagdating sa e-commerce, iniisip nila, yung sales ko, paakyat ng paakyat, tas bababa, and then paakyat ng paakyat na. Type 1, kung sinong seller dito ang gustong paakyat lang ng paakyat ang benta nila. Siyempre, that's what everyone wants pagdating sa e-commerce. To wrap up this point, it's that if you want to win in e-commerce, hindi mo pwedeng i-expect na palaging maganda ang performance ng lahat. Hindi palaging maganda yung ads, hindi palaging maganda yung benta, hindi palaging maganda yung traffic, and that's okay. Because that's part of the process. Okay, so first step, napag-usapan natin yung mindset shift. Which brings us to the second slide, which is identifying the problem. Kasi napag-usapan na natin na karamihan ng problem pagdating sa e-commerce is part of the journey. Which brings us to the next point, which is, ano nga ba yung challenges mo? You have to identify it. Kasi sobrang daming sellers. This is one of the biggest mistake na nakikita ko pagdating sa mga bagong sellers especially, is that nahihirapan silang i-identify ang problem. So I want you guys to comment, ano nga ba yung mga problems na na-encounter ninyo sa e-commerce? If you have to type a single problem that's holding you back, na pumipigil sa sales mo, i-comment mo yan. Sabi ni Ma'am Hazel, high traffic, low conversion. Anyone else? Ano yung biggest problem na nag-hold back sa store mo? I-comment niyan guys, baka makatulong ako. Sabi ni Terence, capital. Sabi ni Lemuel, low conversion. So actually, ang gaganda ng sagot ninyo. Yung mga audience natin, you guys are able to pinpoint the problem accurately. So what do I mean by that? Kasi sobrang daming bagong sellers sa e-commerce. Kapag tinanong mo, ano yung problema? Ano yung problem ng store mo? Ano yung sinasagot nila sa tingin nyo guys? Ayan, sabi ni Ma'am Hazel, hindi alam. Sabi ni Dennis, benta. And tama kayo. A lot of new sellers, they think that walang benta, walang profit, walang products, that is the problem ng store nila. Pero in reality, hindi. Kasi pagdating sa e-commerce, there's actually just two factors. Number one, output. Ito yung resulta. Ito yung mga benta, ito yung profit, and number two is input. Ito yung mga factors na nakaka-contribute sa output. Sales and benta, do you guys think that's an input or an output? Ayan, sabi ni Luna, output. And that is correct. Sabi ni Lemuel, output. So output are the things na hindi natin nakokontrol directly. And as such, hindi siya problem necessarily ng store natin. So what do I mean? Let me expound on this. Karamihan ng problem sa e-commerce are input problem. So lahat ng sagot ninyo actually sobrang ganda. Kasi you guys are targeting the input problem. So for example, kanina sabi ni Ma'am Hazel, low conversion. That's an input. Kaya nating i-increase yung conversion rate. There's so much things that we can do to improve conversion rate. Pwede tayong mag-campaigns, pwede tayong sumali ng mga programs, pwede tayong magbagsak presyo, pwede tayong mag-live selling, pwede tayong mag-content. There's so much things we can do to improve conversion rate. So number one, by identifying the core problem, using the input-output equation, mas nakikita natin ano nga ba yung problema ng store ko. And after that, we can think of solutions. Kung paano ba natin ma-overcome ang problem na to. Because the problem a lot of new sellers have is na sasabihin nila, ang core problem ng store nila is that wala silang benta. Pero paano natin ma-overcome yung problem na yun? There's no concrete direction kapag ganun yung problem na na-identify natin. So the point that I'm trying to make for this slide is that as sellers, kailangan natin ma-identify, ma-pinpoint to the dot kung ano yung problem ng store natin. And pagdating sa e-commerce, there's three core factors na nakaka-apekto sa benta mo. What do you guys think is the three core factors? Kung alam niyo yung e-com equation, alam niyo yung three core factors na nakaka-apekto ng benta. Okay, so the three core factors, components na nakakabuo sa benta natin is quite simple. Traffic, number one. Number two, conversion rate. And number three, average order value. And kung seller ka sa e-commerce, usually, ang problema mo, it boils down to all these three. It's either kulang yung traffic na pumapasok sa store mo, mababa yung conversion. Sa lahat na pumapasok sa store mo, konti lang yung bumibili. And lastly, sobrang liit ng average order value na binibili nila. So nakakasunod pa ba ang lahat? Type 1. Kung nakakasunod pa kayo and you guys are learning, ayun, remember, number one, we have to have the right mindset. It's a feature, not a bug. Okay? Hindi sa store mo lang yan nangyayari. The problems usually occurs to every seller. Na-encounter yan ng lahat ng seller at one point. So you can't view it as the ending, right? It's just part of the process. Number two, you have to identify the problem. Once na na-identify mo, dito na tayo papasok sa step 3, which is effort plus focus. Now, we have to think think, in terms of strategy, in terms of execution, papaano natin ma-overcome yung problema. So for example, you have a traffic problem. Mababa yung traffic na pumapasok sa store mo. And this is usually the case for 99% of sellers sa e-commerce. We can overcome this by using ads, affiliate, organic traffic. Actually, yung tatlo lang yung pinaka-main source of traffic. Pero if i-breakdown natin yan, there's so much more things that makes up sa each tree na yun. So for example, sa organic traffic. Sa organic traffic, nasasama dyan content, nasasama dyan live selling, nasasama dyan yung mga SEO optimization, product description, high-quality pictures, other sources of traffic. So for each aspect of the problem, there are sub-problems pa and there are sub-strategies na pwede natin gawin. So the point I'm trying to make here is kailangan nyong pumili sa lahat ng sub-strategies na pag-usapan natin and focus on that. So for example, your problem is traffic. Magaling ka sa content. You have to focus all your effort in creating content that actually drives traffic into your store. Kasi the problem that I see a lot of sellers make is that they have a conversion problem, for example. So, naalala ko kanina si Ma'am Hazel, na-mention niya, mababa yung conversion niya. So, the right strategy is to focus on things na magpapataas sa conversion rate niya. The wrong strategy, which a lot of other sellers do, is that mababa conversion rate ko, baka kailangan ko pa gumastos ng mas malaki sa ads. Baka kailangan kong palitan yung products ko. Baka kailangan kong palitan yung pictures ko, right? And somehow, nakakatulong siya sa conversion rate, pero there are other efforts na pwedeng mas makatulong, mas mapataas ang conversion rate. Kapag may ginawa tayong strategy or may in-execute tayong trial, sobrang importante to check the data. So sabihin natin we have a conversion rate problem and then gumawa tayo ng bundle deal, discount para ma-improve yung conversion rate natin. We have to check the data. Hindi tayo pwedeng manghula, okay? This is the problem I see a lot of sellers make, is that may gagawin silang action to overcome the problem and hindi na nila binabalikan yung actual data. Ang nangyayari kadalasan, for example, tinitingnan nila, ay, tumaas naman yung order ko. Nag-discount ako, so probably tumaas yung conversion rate ko. Pero sometimes, baka dumagdag yung benta mo dahil sa ad spend. So meaning, hindi tumaas yung conversion rate mo. Tumaas yung traffic mo. So yes, tama. Maganda naman yung resulta as long as tumaas yung benta, di ba? Pero in reality, it means that hindi efficient yung store mo, right? You spend a lot of money generating traffic, pero sobrang konti lang nung traffic na yon nagko-convert. And that is the importance of tracking your data. Kapag hindi mo tinrack yan, hindi mo malalaman kung ano yung strategy na gumagana. Hindi mo alam ano yung pwede mong ulitin, ano yung hindi mo pwedeng gawin, right? Kasi we're talking about margins. We're talking about profitability. We're talking about ad spend. We're talking about money. So, sobrang importante na as sellers, we have to track our data. Which brings us to the next point. Who are afraid to try a certain new strategy? Sige. Type 1 if always willing to try a new strategy. Type 2 if medyo hesitant kayo to try a new strategy. Ayan, kapag may nirecommend si Ecom Accelerator sa inyo, what's your response? Is it 1 or is it 2? Ayan, sobrang daming 1. Si Sir Aaron, nag-2. Okay? So maybe, Sir Aaron, this slide is for you. Pagdating sa trying new things, right? Trying new strategies. Yes, there is a risk na pwede tayong matalo. There is a risk na pwede tayong malugi. Pero on the flip side, kapag gumana yung strategy na yon, the upside is so much more. Kasi malalaman natin ano yung pwede nating i-replicate, ano yung pwede nating i-scale 5 times, 10 times. And one of the biggest reasons kung bakit nasa stock ang karamihan ng sellers is that they are afraid to try new things. So takot sila mag-try ng bago and as a result, they don't have the experience factor to know ano ba yung effective sa store nila. So I remember I was talking to one seller last month before mag Holy Week yon. They were telling me, ang hina talaga ng traffic ko. Kahit anong gawin daw nila, hindi nila mapataas yung benta nila. I think they've been doing e-commerce 3 months already nung nag-usap kami. And paulit-ulit na sinasabi sa akin, sumasali naman po ako ng campaign. Ang ganda naman po ng products ko. Pero wala talaga siyang benta. So when we did a deep dive sa store, napansin namin that the problem was traffic. So of course, nirecommend ko yung ads, nirecommend ko yung affiliate. I recommended a lot of strategies to increase traffic. After nung call namin, I think it was like 3 weeks after, we had another call. And nung tiningnan namin yung store, the result was still the same kasi the seller was afraid to try the recommendations that I gave. So as a result, stagnant pa rin. There's no progress. They were afraid to risk. right? Pero I'm not saying that kailangan lahat mag-ads, kailangan lahat mag-invest, kailangan lahat magsunog. What I'm trying to say is you have to try. Kung sa ads, hindi naman kailangan natin mag-start 1,000 agad yung budget or 1,500 agad. We can start as little as 200 pesos. And by trying, we get to figure out ano ba yung effective, ano ba yung hindi, ano yung profitable ako, ano yung nalulugi ako. And that right there is the experience that you need to build a strong foundation for your store. Ayan, may tanong si Luna. Pero saan po ba maganda mag-focus muna? So for all our audience out there na nagsa-startup pa lang, bagong seller pa lang, and you ask, out of the e-com equation, the traffic, the conversion rate, the average order value, saan pinakamaganda mag-focus? What do you guys think? Tanungin muna natin yung audience natin here sa call. What do you guys think is the best thing to focus on if bagong seller ka pa lang? Is it traffic? Is it conversion rate? Or is it average order value? Sabi ni Limuel, visibility. Sabi ni Dennis, traffic. Sabi ni Hazel, traffic. Sabi ni Aaron, traffic. And that is 100% correct. Alam yan ng mga audience natin kasi you guys are here with Ecom Accelerator. You guys are together with Ecom Accelerator. If bagong seller ka pa lang, the thing that you need to focus on is traffic. If walang taong pumapasok sa store mo, wala ka talagang conversion rate, right? So usually, the best approach as a new seller is number one, inject a lot of traffic into your store. And then on that, makikita mo ano ba yung conversion rate mo. Is it 4%? Is it 2%? Is it 8%? And pwede mo rin makita, based on that, your average order value. Magkano mo binibili ng customer mo on average. And kapag marami ng tao pumapasok sa store mo, that's when you get to identify the next problem of your store, right? You need to have data, you need to have a sample size to know kung ano yung problema ng store mo. So always as a new seller, you have to prioritize traffic. And then usually, ganyan, traffic, conversion rate, AOV. And then babalik ka ulit sa traffic. As sellers, I want to give you guys another mindset shift. And it's that growth first before profit. Actually, itong presentation natin, it's mostly for new sellers. Kasi alam na to ng mga experienced na sellers is that kung bago ka pa lang, sobrang hirap makapag-profit agad ng 6 digits, ng 100,000. You need to grow first. Pero the good thing is, if you're growing and you're growing sustainably, naka-base ka sa e-com equation, naka-price ka ng tama, profit eventually follows. Right? Kahit sa first month mo magsunog ka pa ng, sabi natin 10,000 sa ads, nagsunog ka 1 ROAS lang. As long as you have the right mindset, the right strategy, and the right execution, eventually, profit, susunod din yan. Kasi you get to identify ano ba yung mali, ano ba yung nagsusunog, ano ba yung mga ads na effective. So always have this mindset when you're in e-commerce. Profit comes later. And it comes a lot bigger the longer you wait. We have a Q&A portion, so you guys can ask anything you want, as long as related to e-commerce, guys. And I'll try to address it as much as possible. Ayan. So, ang tanong ni Luna is, paano mapataas ang conversion rate? So, ito yung lagi ko sinasabi sa mga clients namin. It's that, if you want to increase your conversion rate, there's 2 things that you can change. Number 1 is price. Mababa yung conversion rate mo because hindi nagtutugma yung presyo mo tsaka yung offer mo. So, you either have to change your price or you have to change your offer. So, ang pinakamadaling way para mapa-increase yung conversion rate mo is give a voucher, give a discount. Pwedeng 5%, 10%, 15%. It's going to depend on your margin and on your strategy. Pero if you want to increase your conversion rate, the easiest thing to do is give a discount. Pero of course, ayaw natin yung madali, di ba? We don't want to lose margins, lose money para lang mapa-increase yung conversion rate. Which brings us to the next point, which is offer. You need to fix your offer. And usually, mas mahirap ayusin ang offer, pero yung reward niya is much bigger. Sabihin na natin may 2 item akong binebenta. Meron akong 2 remote na binebenta. Remote 1 cost 300 pesos, pero wala siyang reviews. Remote 2, on the other hand, cost 400 pesos, pero sobrang daming reviews. Saan kayo bibili, guys? Will you buy remote 1 or will you buy remote 2? So a lot of our audience are saying 2. And that is the point I'm trying to make, which is sa offer. You have to make your offer seem like it's worth much more than the price that you are charging. Sabi ni Limuel, sa 400 pesos, quality na. As buyers, there's also something we call a sales psychology. We automatically assume na yung mas mahal, mas maraming reviews, ay mas quality. Kapag gusto mong i-increase yung conversion rate mo, hindi lang pricing yung pwede mong galawin. You can also do so much in terms of offer and giving more value to your customer. Okay? Another quick tip, paano natin mapapataas yung conversion rate? Live selling, right? Masasagot natin yung mga tanong ng customers natin right on the spot. As a result, mas likely silang bibili and mas tataas ang conversion rate. So there's so much things that we can do to increase your conversion rate, and if you want to know more, you can check it out sa YouTube channel. Ayan, sabi ni Hazel, paano mag-check if tama ang pricing? Diyan po ako nagkakamali. Actually, Ma'am Hazel, and for all our audience, no, there's no one single way to know kung tama ba yung pricing mo. If you're charged too high or you're charged too low. The only way for you to know is yung experience factor. Kailangan masubukan mo na mababa yung presyo. Kailangan masubukan mo yung mataas na presyo. Kailangan mo i-test kung ano yung pinakapasok sa market mo. And we're not just talking about testing prices, We also have to test creatives and offers. So, Ma'am Hazel, if you're struggling right now with conversion rate, it's usually, you have to try mixing up the price and the offer. Ayan, sabi ni Terence naman, does having high followers increase buying power? Usually, 95% of the time, wala siya masyadong impact pagdating sa buying psychology ng mga buyers. What buyers look for is good reviews. They look for videos wherein makikita nila yung product in action. They rarely look at the follower count. Pero of course, there's that 5% na tumitingin pa rin sa followers. If you want to capture the attention of that 5%, there are strategies din na pwede mong gawin to increase your follower count. So a good example is a follower voucher. Sabi naman ni Gabby Luna, we've been posting affiliate videos on TikTok. Maganda naman yung product cart, pero we're not sure why it's not getting traffic. We also do ads almost every other week. Ma'am Gabby, maybe you have to start to focus on organic, such as content, creating content. Subukan ninyo guys, create 3 content per day. So that's 90 content per month. And I promise you, tataas yung organic traffic ninyo. Okay? And then sa first month, create 90 videos. Sa second month, tingnan ninyo kung anong videos yung maganda and times 3. So instead of 90, create 270 videos. Kasi ang kagandahan sa mga platform ngayon is that hindi sobrang hirap gumawa ng video. Usually 10 to 15 seconds lang. That's a plus for us sellers kasi madali lang siyang gawin. We can do it on our own. So subukan mo yun, Ma'am Gabby, Ma'am or Sir, and I promise you, tataas yung traffic po ninyo. Si Dexter naman may tanong din, for targeted affiliates, limited lang po pala ito for 100 campaigns. Should we delete the old campaigns, create new campaigns, or paano po yung right approach? So kapag gumagamit kayo ng targeted campaigns sa Shopee and TikTok, you have to delete. Tama yung sinabi ni Sir Dexter, which is kailangan mong tingnan yung analytics. Sa 100 na in-invite mo, how many is actually generating sales? How many is actually creating video? Kasi I promise you, out of the 100 campaigns, usually nasa 30 lang. 30 lang yung nakakapag-generate ng benta. Yung other 70, hindi nila nakikita, hindi sila gumagawa. So we can always delete that para makapag-invite pa tayo ng mas marami, right? Pagdating naman sa small capital, no, mas mahirap na siya ngayon sa e-commerce kasi sobrang late ng payout, sobrang taas ng mga fees. Pero of course, there's still a way, no? There's, as long as you have the right strategy, you have the right pricing, yung markup mo, hindi pwedeng 50% lang, 40% lang, it needs to be more than 100%. That way, mapapaikot mo yung benta. That way, hindi matutulog yung kapital mo. So if you're a new seller, maliit lang yung kapital, the tip that I will give you is you have to focus on pricing your item correctly. Okay? Kasi kung maliit lang yung markup mo, tas sobrang bilis ng benta mo, hindi yan iikot. Kasi it takes 2 weeks for platforms to release the payout.